What is the US fiscal cliff? Well, in brief, the explanation is that if policy is left on autopilot, the US economy would be subject to a series of automatic tax increases and spending cuts at the turn of the year. Specifically, they would be former President Bush's tax cuts, President Obama's payroll tax reduction, and a number of spending reductions enacted by the Budget Control Act last year. The question of how big the fiscal cliff is in short substantial. What you would see is a tightening of fiscal policy in the region of $600 billion, which would be equivalent to 4% of GDP. And in terms of the size on the economy, that is obviously a substantial tightening in fiscal policy, which would reduce demand significantly and would most likely throw the economy back into recession. An obvious question as to why this hasn't been sorted out yet is an obvious one, but in short, it's because of competing interests in a split Congress, which takes us really to the election results after the 6th of November presidential and congressional elections for an answer. Our view is that the fiscal cliff would be better sorted if the presidency and the Senate were in the same hands. So, for example, if President Obama were to be re-elected and the Senate would stay in Democratic hands, what we would likely see is some more moderate Republicans still controlling the House of Representatives coming to some sort of arrangement on fiscal policy, which would result in perhaps some tightening in policy next year, but nothing anywhere as great as the fiscal cliff numbers would suggest.